You guys getting a tingly little feeling in your buns? Getting all hot and bothered by what you see next to me? Or am I just projecting my own feelings onto you? Because I'm pretty excited right now. Feast your eyes, fellow donators, on the RUF CTR, aka the Yellowbird, the fastest production car in the world at one time. But this isn't just any RUF CTR. Of the mere 29 that were built, this is number one, the first production model manufactured by RUF. This is by far one of the most significant and famous Porsches in the world, but it's not even a Porsche. And because of that, it was able to take on the evil juggernaut that is Electronic Arts. We're going bumper to bumper on this 1987 RUF CTR Yellowbird. RUF Automobil GmbH, which is German for Gesellschaft mit beschränkter Haftung, got their claim to fame by taking Porsche 911 SCs and hopping them up to reach the same performance as the much faster 930. If you want a little refresher on the history of RUF as a whole, check out our episode of Up to Speed, but don't go anywhere quite yet, because we're about to dive deep into this yellow beauty sitting next to me. Guys, I'm so excited. Hello, baby. In 1987, RUF took their non-production twin-turbo CTR, the car on which this one is based, to Road & Track's World's Fastest Cars event. RUF had completed the CTR with little time to spare, getting its legendary yellow paint job on only days before the event. After speaking with Mr. Alois RUF on the phone, yeah, I got to speak to him personally on the phone. He dropped some sweet insider info about the famous yellow color. In the 80s, a yellow car was absurd. The only cars that were yellow were German postal trucks and earth-moving equipment. That's a quote from the man. RUF had intended to paint their Road & Track car red, but their driver, Stefan Roser, knew that Lamborghini and Ferrari would be bringing red cars, so he suggested to paint it yellow. And they did. RUF painted the CTR the color that I like my vegetables. Heirloom tomato yellow. I go to the farmer's market every weekend. Great joke, James. Go celebrate by raising the roof. While RUF was consciously taking on the big name Italians and their German daddy, they were unconsciously fighting Electronic Arts. In Y2K, Porsche signed an exclusive license with Electronic Arts that would ensure no other video game would be able to feature the popular Stuttgart brand. But you see, RUF is its own car manufacturer with its own unique VIN numbers. So if you played games from the Gran Turismo, Project Cars, Drive Club franchises, you weren't finger driving a Porsche, you were finger driving a RUF. So I guess, and I think this is the first time anyone has spoken this phrase, thanks EA. This Yellowbird was originally sold to a buyer in Japan before making its way back to Germany for restoration, which is where Bruce Meyer comes into the story. Mr. Meyer is the founding chairman of the Peterson Automotive Museum, which is where we are shooting today. If you haven't been there, you should check it out. If you're ever in LA, I go like twice a week. He bought this CTR just last year because he knew that one day I would leave Kentucky in hopes of a better life, become a tier 3 YouTuber, and host my own internet car show called Bumper to Bumper, eventually leading up to today, and me sitting here next to the coolest car ever made. The CTR was based on the 87 Carrera 3.2 as opposed to the 930. The standard body panels, including the doors, hood, and engine cover, were replaced with aluminum pieces, helping to eliminate an additional 441 lbs. That's like removing 2 Nolans or 3 me's. That's why you stay in school, kids, because you can do the quick math. I'm 147 pounds. The car's total weight is just a tad over 2,500 little old lbs. In an effort to reduce drag, they designed custom fiberglass front and rear bumpers and removed the rain gutters, which also reduced wind noise at high speeds. The only downside is that without rain gutters, you get wet when you open the door when it's raining out. But that wouldn't bother me because I'd already be soaked when I'm getting out of this thing with sweat. Unlike the prototype Yellowbird, this production model did away with the NACA air ducts. Now, RUF realized that the ducts created a negative pressure area and air was drawn out of the duct, defeating the purpose of why they put them there in the first place, to send more air into the intercoolers. So, RUF didn't implement them on the production models. It's a Yellowbird with no ducts. The rear arches slash fender were also increased in width to accommodate the larger Speedline wheels. Like so many other additions on the car, RUF designed these wheels in-house. The 17-inch staggered wheel setup is a staple for RUF automobiles. These are 8 inches wide up front and 10 in the back. To shave off all important grams of unsprung weight, reliefs were cut into each spoke. The CTRs came with Dunlop Denlock tires, the same tires put on the 959. When I spoke to my buddy Alois on the phone and asked him what his favorite part of the car was, he said the tires. I'm not kidding. Now these are real Speedlines made by RUF, but they don't have the Denlock feed because Dunlop doesn't make the tires anymore. These are Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2s, which are very nice things. The CTR has custom Group C brakes with 13-inch rotors, helping you bring the world's fastest production car to a halt in a hurry. 13 inches is huge. That's like 2 inches bigger than my waist. The Bird needed those big bad boy brakes because going 213 miles an hour is fun, but it's kind of important that you can safely get back down to zero. I got a need for slowing down. Boom, roasted again. I'm sitting in a friggin' Yellowbird. I'm stoked. This birdie's got 2 leather Recaro bucket seats with racing harnesses because a traditional seatbelt would just feel silly and scary in a car that goes over 200 miles per hour. It's got a freaking roll cage, for Christ's sake. Make no mistake about it, this is a race car with some comfort features, not the other way around. You still have your AC and your radio, but that's only so you can stay cool and listen to Led Zepp on 100.1 FM, The Quake, while you blow past everyone at the track. Or if you can't tune into your favorite radio station, how about you pull your favorite tape from one of these awesome tape dispensers? My favorite happens to be Piano by Candlelight. It's got a Momo 3-spoke steering wheel, which fits my hands perfectly, just saying. The instrument cluster includes a tach, boost gauge, oil and fuel gauges, and of course, the speedometer, which goes all the way up to 217 miles per hour. The coolest thing in the interior, besides this brake bias knob up here, is the boost controller between the seats. It looks like the dial for a nitrous tank.
Laughing gas, baby.
It's got other cool knickknacks like power seats, a huge glove box, and a little place to put your cell phone. The motor in the base 911 at the time was a 3.2 liter, horizontally opposed, flat 6-cylinder, putting out 217 horsepower and 191 foot-pounds of torque. RUF took that motor and bored out the cylinders 98 millimeters to increase displacement from 3.2 to 3.4 liters. They added a Bosch Motronic 2.1 fuel injection system because the mechanical K-Jetronic system sucked, and they switched the ignition with one designed for the Porsche 962 race car. They designed a turbo system featuring twin turbochargers and twin intercoolers, which brought the total output to 469 horsepower that redlined at 6,800 RPM. That horsepower number is on the low end. A more true estimate of the power of this birdie is closer to 500. It goes from 0 to 60 in 3.65 seconds. They went 213 miles per in 1987. You went any faster, it would have slowed down the rotation of the Earth like Superman did in 1978 Superman film titled Superman, starring Superman. At the time, Porsche offered the 911 3.2 with a 5-speed manual transmission, while the 930 got a 4-speed because it was the only tranny that Porsche built that could handle the 930's high power output. RUF didn't like the idea of the Yellowbird having a 4-speed and weren't able to modify this 5-speed unit to their liking, so what did they do? They built their own. You ever built your own transmission before? Neither have I, but I imagine it's not easy. RUF did build their own transmission, and they celebrated by raising the roof. Come on, guys. No, I'm sorry, I won't do it again. I gotta finish the video. RUF created a legend with the Yellowbird. The once small service garage took on Lamborghini, Ferrari, Mercedes, and even Porsche themselves and smashed them to bits. They set new benchmarks for street legal sports cars and made it clear to everyone in the automotive world that they weren't some small mom and pop one-stop pop-up shop. My close personal friend Alois Roof set out to change the production car game with the Yellowbird, and he did it. He made a car that anyone who got behind the wheel would leave with a smile on their face and a sense of pride and accomplishment. Final EA burn. Big thanks to REC Watches for sponsoring this week's Bumper to Bumper. If you're a car boy like me, REC makes the perfect watch for you. These sleek industrial watches are each unique and feature pieces from real cars or airplanes. Their concept is recover, recycle, and reclaim. Oh, REC, I get it. Every watch has a subtle design feature on the watch face that's a little wink wink to the car, and even the real VIN number of the repurposed vehicle. Check out the full concept and collection at recwatches.com or click the link down in the description. Big thanks to Bruce Meyer for letting us borrow his car, and again, thank you Peterson Automotive Museum. You guys always hook it up. Thanks for watching Donut Media. Really guys, it means so much to us. We're coming up on 2 million subscribers. If you're not already subscribed, hit that sub button right there and help us get there a little bit faster. If you like this video, hit the like button. It really helps us out. It only takes a few seconds. Follow me on Instagram at James Pumphrey. Follow Donut at Donut Media. You want to buy some merch? Go to donutmedia.com. You want to know more about the RUF story? Check out this episode of Up to Speed where I cover the whole history. If you're looking for a car that's basically the opposite of this, as in affordable, check out this episode of Wheelhouse hosted by my son Nolan. I love you.